Hi everyone from BZPower, I'm Zath. Welcome to the first episode of our staff interview series. Do you want to introduce yourself, guest?
I am Bfahome. I'm going to be the first interviewee.
And also Dash Victim, but we'll see how it goes. So the idea of this series is just for us to also interview other members of the BZP staff so that you can meet the people behind the monitor, see that we're also, on some level as similar to you as we are, and that we've got our own little stories based on Lego, BZPower, stuff like that. And to make it more fun for you and also Lego-oriented, we're going to be building some sets while we talk so that it's not just a conversation back and forth that you get to eavesdrop into. So with that being said, BFA, here's your first question. It's a very important one. It might or might not be related to food. The question is, which do you prefer? Awesome sauce, cool beans, or Neato burrito?
I don't think I've ever had awesome sauce, and cool beans aren't really my favorite thing, so I'm going to have to go with the burrito.
Okay, it's a very solid response. First, very solid response. And with that, I'm also going to ask you, do you want to show us the set that you're going to be building with us today?
Yes, I'm going to be building, not really reviewing, the double-decker couch set. I believe XCCJ already reviewed this for the news section.
Yeah, but it'll be kind of like a live review type thingy, but we'll see. Alright, so while he's going to be building, I'm going to be asking him questions. It's also going to be a test to see how well he can multitask. Just kidding.
I can't.
I we'll see how it goes. So with that, we can hear the opening of the bags in the instruction booklet.
You can definitely hear it.
Delectable sound to any Lego fan around the world, so if you get the itch to build alongside with us, feel free, for we'll be here building and answering questions, and you can pretend that I'm asking you the questions as well.
Don't answer too loudly if there are people around, though, because
that's true.
They might not like it.
With that being said, we're going to move on to our first slightly more serious question. Hopefully not, though, because if things stay too serious, they'll get very boring. So, BFA, what's your story with Lego like? When did you become a Lego fan? What was your first set? What's kind of your story with the Lego toy line?
Before I do that,
yep.
Just gonna get this noise out of the way.
Getting all the pieces out already?
Yeah. The noise. Oh dear, the noise. So, as far as my history with Lego goes, I've really always sort of been a fan. There wasn't really any starting point that I can remember. It's just, I don't remember my first set. I don't remember much. Like before Bionicle, I don't remember much about it. I had some Lego Technic sets, some of the old ones.
Okay.
I think, well, one of the old ones. I had the, back when the Technique were the Lego system beams with the holes in them.
Oh, yeah.
I had the small red helicopter that you turn the crank on and then the rotors would spin.
Yeah.
And then you could also turn it into a plane.
Yeah.
I remember that back in the day they used to have the "Don't put the gears on too tight" warning with the crying brick in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
That was slightly distressing when I was younger, but, you know.
Yeah, we've moved from there to building on white grass.
Mm-hmm. Well, not anymore, really.
Well, that's true. We've also moved past that stage now.
Why do they put the minifigures in separate bags?
Yeah, I know. They make it harder for us.
Why do they distribute them across all 4 bags? All of the 4 bags.
They want us to open all the bags immediately from the get-go, apparently.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that, Bionicle was also kind of a big point in your Lego story. So how did the Bionicle stuff start with you? Did you start with the sets? Was it the story? Was it a friend of yours casually mentioning this new Lego line?
The way it started for me, and this is why I had to think to remember what Lego sets I had before, because I definitely had some before, is they used sorry.
No worries.
They used to have little pamphlets basically about the size of this instruction booklet, and they'd pretty much be the Lego catalog Lite version, I guess, just to promote the sets and stuff. And my first encounter with Bionicle was seeing the TOA page, just the splash page with the 6 TOA. And I remember that Onua was the biggest displayed as opposed to Tahu, who's supposed to be the leader guy, but
Yeah.
Onua was the most prominent. And I thought they looked really awesome. And I just thought, I kind of want some of these. And then one day in school, one of my friends brought in a Taraga set. It was Wenua.
Okay.
And I was basically just like, there's more?
What?
And
There's more than 6?
Yeah. I just known about the 6 TOA from the pamphlet, so that was pretty cool. I remember this. It was an inside recess day because it was raining out.
Okay.
So there were like these wooden blocks that we had. I think this was in 3rd grade. Or these wooden blocks, just large geometric shaped things that we sort of put together into like a temple or some kind of thing for Wenua to live
that's
in.
cool.
I can't find President Business's head.
President Business.
Never mind, I put it directly in front of myself about 2 minutes ago.
Will Ferrell is hiding from us. So that's really cool, though. I mean, I feel like it's always fun to hear kind of the ways that Bionicle intersected in the lives of those who became fans early on. So speaking about that, I guess as another aspect of Bionicle fandom that intersects with your life, how did you get your start on BZPower and on Bionicle fan sites?
Moment of honesty here. My first Bionicle fan site was not BZPower. I was not a member of it, though. I remember they used to cite BZPower, and I was thinking, wow, this BZPower place, they have a lot of news stories, and this other place has very few news stories, and I don't want to be trying to keep up with all the news stories, so I'm just going to stay with this other place for a while. And then I think the point where I started reading BZPower more was in 2006, when I think I distinctly remember looking up the Vizon and Fenrak set review.
Okay.
So that was sort of the transition point, sort of, I guess.
Yeah, I'd like to officially, yeah.
But I still didn't really, I didn't become a member, really participate in anything. I started, my first real participation in the Bionicle community, I think, was on Bionicle Sector 01, or BS01, or Bionicle Sector 01, or 1, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Acronyms. You can never pronounce acronyms.
I know.
So I was on there for a while. Part of this was because I did not have my own email address until, like, early high school. So I couldn't really sign up for an account, and I didn't really want to ask my parents.
Yeah, internet back in the day.
Yeah, ask your parents before going online.
Yeah, back in my day.
So there was that. And, oh dear, I have to find Unikitty's eyebrows. Just a second, hold on.
The multi-piece cat.
Yes. She has 2 eyebrow bricks. Both of them look similar, because she has the multiple faces.
Oh, that's interesting. So that one has the multiple,
Yeah, it has the crying face and the curious face.
Oh.
Where was I? Bionicle Sector.
Yeah.
Anyway, I started there because it didn't require an email address, and I thought it was interesting to, keep up with the story and whatnot. Be right back.
Flying pieces! Whee!
Falling pieces.
Yeah.
And after a while, I got my own email address, so I signed up for BZPower. This was January of 2008.
Okay.
Then I immediately tried to change my password, and my account got deleted.
Oh.
So I made a new account in February of 2008. And then I sort of got more interested in the discussion side of things and less in the story aspect, so I stopped using the wiki as much as BZPower. And that's my story.
Interesting. That's interesting, though. It's always fun to me, when you think about all the different sites that existed, all the different kind of entryways that there were into the Bionicle fandom online, back then. And so, invariably, though, all of that kind of taking part in the discussions and taking part in the community paid off, because now you're a premier blog assistant.
Yeah, a big shot.
So, so how's that? How does that work out? How was it the first few weeks, months of that? And how is it compared to now, with both the kind of dying down a little bit of Bionicle and then its resurgence? How does that work out for you?
Well, originally it was very different because our names were yellow instead of green.
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgotten.
I joined right around that transition. So, first it was the joke about how eye-searing that color was, and then I couldn't make that joke anymore, and I was sad. And usually it's pretty okay. Blogs have, they're not quite as restricted as the forums because it is a blog instead of a topic, so you can go pretty much as off-topic as you want, and it won't be a huge deal. You just gotta really stay within the community rules about, appropriateness and stuff.
Yeah.
Occasionally things will happen, but usually fairly easily resolved. Yep.
So it's a average day in the life of a premier blog assistant.
Basically.
Shifting a little bit from the blog assistant just to see how the set's going. How goes the double-decker couch?
There's no couch yet. I have a car.
Working on it.
Work in progress car.
So it's a multi-purpose set, I guess. It allows you to sit with your friends, but it also allows you to move around.
Yes.
Interestingly though, I think, after you kind of get used to BZPower and to work on the staff, there are a lot of things that kind of become a little bit like clockwork, but there's little stories and moments here and there that you remember. So, is there any kind of fond BZP memory you have as a member, as a blog assistant, anything like that?
Trying to think of specifics is difficult.
Yeah, no, it's like, there was this one time, but...
Well, probably one of the most distinct BZPower related memories did not actually happen on BZPower. It was, I used to have an AIM, AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Chat with some other people who aren't really active anymore. But that was some pretty interesting times there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel that. Those times when we communicated back in the instant messengers. So, we've talked a lot, I guess, about the early on being a fan of Lego and Bionicle. We've talked about BZPower, about both as a member and as a staffy. But I had the pleasure of meeting you almost a year ago now, more or less-ish, during Brick Fair.
Slightly less than a year.
Yeah, slightly less than a year by now. So how was that? The kind of intersection between being in a giant convention hall for, 5 days now with a bunch of crazed BZPower members, some staffers, others not, all equally kind of wacky in their own way. How was that?
Probably not as jarring as for some other people because the year before last, I went to Brick Fair New England, which was it was the first New England Brick Fair, which was how I got my mom to go along with, hey, I kind of want to go to this thing. It's in New Hampshire now. I live in Maine, so...
Oh!
New Hampshire is the only state that borders us. The rest of it's Canada and ocean.
So it was good that the first one happened right there, because it was like, aha, I have an excuse to go.
Yeah, an excuse to go, and it was a lot smaller than Virginia, so it was kind of a good introductory convention.
That's it. Yeah. It was a good
thing.
entryway into the Lego convention scene, yeah. That's cool, though. So what were kind of, I guess from the size... what were some kind of, big differences or maybe similarities between, Brick Fair New England, the small little first-year event, and then Brick Fair Virginia, the behemoth that it is.
New England had more monorail. They had the giant, I don't know, world record breaking or world record attempt breaking monorail set up. It was huge.
Okay.
It spanned across multiple tables, and it wasn't just like a track going around. It was like a track that was doing all sorts of twirls into itself and coming back out, just to maximize the amount of track they could squeeze in. I now have a car.
Aha! We have the vehicle. So that's the vehicle for Emmett, right?
Yes, that's
cool.
Emmett's car.
Haha, that's the one where it appears for 45 seconds of the movie.
Something like that.
Yeah, but it does have the blinking lights on it, and that's a scene that I appreciated a lot, because I was like, oh, that's so very functional and funny.
So,
yeah.
Other big differences, there's a lot more going on in Virginia than there was in New Hampshire. Both inside and outside the convention.
Yeah.
There were definitely a lot more people to keep myself occupied with.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just generally more in Virginia.
Yeah. I feel like also one of the aspects of that is also, I feel like there are a lot more public exhibitors, I feel like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of people who, that Saturday and Sunday, go by and see everything that there is.
Yeah, I can't say for public exhibitors or whatever, but there were definitely a lot more. It seemed like there were bigger crowds in Virginia, probably because it's been going on for so long there, and New England was the first time. Thinking about it, the Bionicle table was huge at Virginia compared to New Hampshire, because we had 3 or 4 tables at New Hampshire, whereas Bionicle just had its own little corner of the...
Yeah, we have in the map, it's like, so this is Bionicle.
Here there would be Bionicle.
Yeah, here there be Bionicles. And actually, that's
dragons.
actually... usually dragons, or maybe both. We usually have dragons as well. That does bring me to an interesting point, though, and that's, it's always something that's very fun to me to see at events like Brick Fair Virginia, seeing how people react to the public. And I think that's always a very interesting point, not only just with the kind of public, displaying aspect of it, but I feel like it says a lot about the kind of LEGO fan that someone is. So... my question, I guess, is what kind of a LEGO fan are you? Are you, more of a kind of, do you stick with building one specific type of MOCs? Do you try your handed little things here and there? Do you build with the intent of sharing pictures online, whether it be to show others what you're making, to get criticisms and comments? Are you someone who just kind of makes a lot of works in progress and has them hanging around, but, doesn't maybe... take up the time to kind of share them? It's more of the building process rather than the sharing process.
I don't really have a specific thing that I necessarily try to build more often. But looking back on it, I built a lot of faces and birds.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know why it ends up like that, but, well, not a lot of, a few birds. But, personally, a trend I've noticed is that I take just any piece that I can and I make it into a face.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw my Nightmare Muppet at Brick Fair. It's the big gold thing with the Rocca lion head for the nose.
Yep.
And then that one's sitting next to Tohu. And then at Virginia, I participated in the combo build and I made a face out of that, out of a race car and one of the Chima bat sets.
Mm-hmm.
So I build a lot of faces and birds.
That's a pretty good, I feel like, a good kind of area to delve into.
As for why I build, I've also noticed recently that my building style tends to be find the most specified, juniorized, single-use part I can and make it into something completely different. I really like doing that. It's really fun. I enjoy the challenge. My most recent bird uses a jaw blade head as the head. I just turned it around.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I think I saw the picture on the blog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Rocca head is the nose, and One of my more recent faces has Galley's mask as the nose, kind of like this.
Oh, cool.
With the nose here.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to unsee that.
Yeah, now that you see it, you can't unsee it.
Nose.
That's really cool, though. You know, I feel like that's always a very fun part of the of mocks is seeing how people kind of turn pieces into, you know, new kind of new ways of using them that you wouldn't have seen before, which is always really fun and really cool. I feel like. So you know, I think we've dealt a good amount with a lot of Bionicle and BZPower related stuff, but you know, when talking about real life stuff, how do you, or I guess not how do you, but you know, what are some of your other kind of pastimes, hobbies, things you're interested in aside from Bionicle that maybe somehow link into Bionicle, Lego, building, that kind of stuff?
I don't really have that many other hobbies, but I do like playing Minecraft. It's sort of my substitute for Lego when I don't have that, like when I can't bring my entire collection with me, like now.
Yeah.
So it's fun to go and build something in there. Most of my hobbies revolve around Lego, so...
Yeah, I feel like, to an extent, we can all say that. So that's interesting, though. You know, I feel like one of the cool things, in a way, of having a hobby like Lego is that, you know, a lot of people might not know about it, or others might not think it's as big of a deal. What's kind of the response from people outside of the Lego sphere when you tell them that, you know, you have a hobby that involves building with Lego, that you build these things, that you, you know, 10 years down the line still are involved in that toy line called Bionicle that they might have heard about years ago? You know, how do people react to that usually? Because that's always a very interesting kind of, well, interesting being the word that I'm choosing here, interesting discussion to have with people.
Yeah, I don't actually really talk about it that much, not like out of nervousness or shyness or anything. I just don't really... Not many people are like, so what's your main interest for the past 15 years? So, I mean, I'll talk about it if people want to talk about it, but other than that, it's kind of just my own thing that I do.
That's good, though, yeah, to have your little, like, own me time type of activity. Speaking of me time, how does the build go now? Double-decker couch on its way there. 1.5 decks. And actually, I don't know if you saw the article where they mentioned where the idea from the double-decker couch came for the Lego movie. Apparently, they had meetings every day where they got together with, like, you know, the animators, the scriptwriters, and stuff like that. And one day, one of the people there told about how she built a double-decker couch for her friends, and they thought it was just the most outrageous and silly idea, and then they found a way to work it into the script.
I think I remember seeing that article, but not reading it, so today I learned.
The more you know. And actually, that's also a fun thing. So, you know, with the Lego movie having come out, and now having had a year to kind of cool off and think about the movie and, you know, kind of really internalize it. What were your thoughts about the movie in general?
I really liked it, and I'm building this wrong. Hang on.
Oh, oh yeah, that's the most stressful thing is when you're halfway through a build and you say, this, I think I made some mistake, and then you look back 20 pages and you're like, it's one piece was supposed to go earlier.
Just a couple steps behind. But
okay, that's good.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. Well, there were some backtracking involved.
Yeah. Lego movie. I really liked it as a movie. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was cute. It was actually pretty deep for a movie about Lego.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got, really.
Yeah, no, it's very simple, but also very lighthearted, I think, and that was one of the fun things about it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I guess it was a good thing to know that the movie did well.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like over the past few years, Lego has become much larger than it was years ago. I mean, I think that, to an extent, everyone knew what Lego is, but I think that over the past 2 or 3 years, it's really, I mean, with the study, it's gotten stronger, exactly. It's become a really big, kind of really large, present cultural touchstone. I don't know, how have you personally noticed kind of Lego permeating into other areas of life recently? Or have you noticed it, or has it kind of always stayed at that same level, really, not changing much?
I don't really notice it too much. It's given that it's my main hobby, I'm always just sort of thinking about it. So I mean, I guess people say this chair will go together just like Legos or whatever.
Yeah.
Or something like that, like something you get from IKEA or something like that. So I think there's definitely, especially with Lego Movie, there's some more, popular knowledge of it now than there was previously. And the brand has gotten more powerful, so it's, the largest toy company of the world or something?
I think so, apparently, right? It, beat Ferrari or something.
Oh, well, I know it's the largest manufacturer of tires in the world.
Yeah. So we've got that on our belt.
Yes.
Ha-ha!
Yes, I'm using 4 of them.
Ha-ha! We've got 4 right there.
And the couch is done.
Woo!
And I forgot Vitruvius's cape. Way back at the beginning.
Yeah. So how does how do the minifigures in that set compare with the other ones? Because I know that they've got special versions, or at least different versions from the other kind of minifigs that we get in other sets.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call these special versions, because this is a $15 set, and I think they just made these versions so it wouldn't decrease the value of the more expensive sets. Like,
that's a
the
good
previous
point.
Benny only comes in Benny's Spaceship and Metalbeard Sea Cow, and those are $100 and $250, I think.
Yeah.
So, getting the same Benny in a $15 set would probably be less incentive to buy the bigger sets. But that being said, we do get new versions of the minifigures. At least a couple of the minifigures. So, like Vitruvius here, we get Ghost Vitruvius! And we get Super Happy Benny.
Yay!
As opposed to slightly less Super Happy Benny.
Slightly less.
And then they, of course, have alternate faces. So, Benny has a sort of nervous smile. I don't know how well that comes through. Maybe I'll try my other camera.
Let's see if I can, hold on. There we go.
He's got the little eyebrows that go up instead of just the generic minifigure smile. President Business, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what versions he's come in before. I know he's
in the Craggle set.
Yeah, I
know.
Yeah, I think he was only in the Craggle and the minifigure pack, because I know I got him from the minifigure pack.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And this is his confused face and happy face. Happy reformed face, where he's sitting on his double-decker couch and watching TV with his buddies. Hang on, just gotta get Benny back together here.
We gotta build him back. And actually, speaking about the different minifigs, here's a fun question. Hopefully it won't distract from the building a lot. If you had to identify with one character from the Lego Movie, which character would it be and why?
I
know it's a toughie.
I'm trying to think of all the characters. Well, we know Bionicle is technically canon in the...
Yeah, so by that logic. Because I feel like they're all so unique yet so different. So I feel like there's not a lot of leeway to say, I have a little bit of this character, but also this character. You probably have to just say, this or this.
They're all sort of generic characters, but played off in a different way, in a more unique way. Speaking of minifigures, there's this new Unikitty.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Sitting version now, adorable sitting version.
Haha.
Because that didn't exist before, and This isn't quite how it's shown in the movie. In the movie, it's just a larger sloped piece that comes down to about here, and the tail isn't even attached.
Oh, okay.
Just because, they have those general Lego bricks as everything.
Yeah.
Even if they're, not technically legal.
Yeah.
Connection-wise. So, this is a slightly modified look for Unikitty from the movie version.
Mm-hmm.
I have Astro Kitty here to compare.
Oh, fun.
And this Unikitty also comes with a second face, the sad, crying face. I'm going to put that away. Too sad. One thing I will say, though, is that the recent Unikitty releases, especially this one, I think the Comic-Con exclusive ones, those were super happy and sort of nervous. They're a lot more expressive than the previous Unikitty faces. Like, the first 3 Unikitties were basically this face.
Yeah,
this face
with the different kind of...
Yeah. One of them with the business writing, and one of them normal, and one of them with a spacesuit on.
Yeah.
And if you compare the two, one of them looks a lot more expressive than the other. So
yeah,
I kind of wish they.
So at least, yeah.
I wish they'd gone with that trend from the start. Maybe they. Excuse me. Maybe they weren't quite certain how popular the character would be, so they were holding back on that. But oh well. Yeah. Whatever the reason.
Yeah. At least we got one with more expressions.
Yes, this one comes with 2 faces that you can swap out, so there's that.
Yeah. How does the sitting work with the double-decker couch for Unikitty?
Oh, good question. I haven't
Effective
tried
or...
yet. It shows her sitting on it. Oh dear. One more thing about Unikitty is the heads do not stay on.
Oh yeah. That's, yeah. Playing isn't Unikitty's forte there.
Yeah. She can sit on the couch because her tail is raised up enough for a stud to fit under, so
Okay.
the couch has really loose side things, so don't hold them by these. It has the little studs there for the minifigures to sit on, so she can sit on those, or any minifigure could just sort of sit loosely on there, but they'll fall off really easily. Yeah. So there's that. Most of them can sit on it, except for Vitruvius, who doesn't actually have articulation. He can stand on it, though.
He can ghostly stand. Woo!
So, yeah. Oh, I forgot. Who has the sausage? Benny has the sausage.
Aha! I can't wait to eat sausage with all my pals.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out the croissant. Yeah, the movie's definitely chock full of all those little silly one-liner random jokes.
I wish this came with Batman.
Yeah, that really would complete the whole thing. It would just be like, you got the whole gang together.
We're stuck in the middle of the ocean. It's like some giant ship is gonna come out of nowhere and save us. My God!
God! Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, it's... I feel like that's going to be one of the fun parts of the movie also, is for the next 5 years, we're all going to be able to quote it constantly.
Oh, yes. It's the Princess Bride of kids' toy movies.
It really is, yeah. It's very well planned out in that way. They've got a lot of very good one-liners. And also a lot of very solid sets, as we can see from the double-decker couch.
As you can see from the gingerly trying to retrieve giant spaceship from other side of the desk.
The spaceship?
I'm just gonna grab this part.
That is one part of it, so we have it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was also a very fun set to build.
Yeah.
Very nostalgia heavy, at least.
I never really had any of the old space sets, but I have played with the parts before. So yeah, I did recognize a lot of them. And I didn't actually know there was a function in the set until like a week before I built it.
Really?
I had it sitting around for a while before I built it, so I always thought that part in the movie where the wings come out, where it's bursting out of the tower and the wings come out, I thought that was like movie trickery, but no, you push the back and the wings actually come out.
He's like, oh! Yeah.
I was like, oh, I haven't given the movie enough credit.
Yeah, it's like, they did really plan a lot of this out all the way throughout. Yeah, so, but, I mean, that's cool, though, that they release a set like the double-decker couch with a lot of the minifigures. You know, it's very affordably priced, but you still get some minifigs that you might not get otherwise. I feel like that's a nice little kind of plus from LEGO to us.
I say I wish this set comes with Batman, but then I look in the instruction booklet and I'm immediately reminded that, oh yeah, Batman comes with a $10 set.
Oh yeah, he does.
Micromanager and Super Angry Kitty.
Yep, Queen's micromanaging. Yeah, they definitely they planned out their release of LEGO movie sets very well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems definitely like a fun, a quick little build, but a fun one nonetheless. And I feel like that's all you can ask for from the LEGO movie.
It's also a pretty solid build. The seats are attached by hinges, so like this can sort of. Actually, not really. It can wiggle a bit, but it can't really bend, and it's actually fairly hefty.
That's really good. Yeah, that's good. They also factored in the sturability of the set.
It can stand up to those rough seas.
Yeah. You will not be spotted by micromanagers in this way. So, does that mean we're technically officially done with the set, I guess?
I think so. Other than Emmett has a waffle.
Aha, a waffle. So what are your final thoughts on the set, I guess?
I think it's a fun little set. I mainly got it for the minifigures. But it's actually probably a good place to display the minifigures, too, because it's, you know, it's the couch from the movie. It's one of the more iconic of the movie's jokes. Yeah. So that's definitely a plus for anyone who was a fan of the movie, or like if you want to buy a present for someone who was a fan of the movie. This is a set that comes with 4 minifigures and a figure, because I don't think Unikitty technically counts as a minifigure. Yeah. At least not on the shop description page. I hadn't actually put Emmett in the car before now, but it is actually a nice little car. I think the one in the movie was based off another similar-looking car, so I don't know if this is the same as that one, or if this is one-to-one from the movie. It does have a little radio brick in the front here.
Oh, fun! I love this song!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like, there it is again.
We love playing this song all day. Or whatever the quote is. Over and over again.
Yeah, over and over again. That's cool, though. It's good to see that the set went well. It's good to see that after, I guess, 15 plus years of LEGO and Bionicle, we've been able to stick to it, tooth and claw, even when, you know, Bionicle was canceled, even when people said, LEGO's not for kids, and we were like, what? Or not for adults. There we go, see?
Respect the classics.
Exactly, respect the originals, kids. If you don't know what that is, ask your parents. Or check out BZPower, or Biosector 01, or anywhere, really.
Just Google the word Bohrok, B-O-H-R-O-K.
Exactly, they're pretty cool. There are some very scary and cool videos, so you'll find stuff.
You can find them under the synonyms page for coolest LEGO sets in history.
You can quote him on that.
Bohrok were my favorite sets.
Thank you. Yay, Bohrok! Thank you so much, BFA, for joining us for this staff interview. I would say it was very successful. I think we learned a lot about friendship and LEGO and Bionicle, and about awesome sauce, cool beans, and Neato burritos.
Thank you for having me and giving me an excuse to build a LEGO set other than just, I want to build a LEGO set.
It's always good to have an excuse to build a LEGO set.
Yes.
I hope you all enjoyed this video. We'll hopefully be posting more of these videos and more videos from BZPower. If you want to see more set reviews, if you want to hear more news about Bionicle, LEGO, etc., etc., you can check out bzpower.com. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll be posting more news, videos, and other content for you all to keep connected with the LEGO and Bionicle world at large. Thank you very much for joining us. This was Bfahome. My name is Zath. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye-bye, friends.
Bye, all.
Bye!